We're diving into a fascinating piece of American history, the 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar. You might be wondering, what makes this coin so special? Well, stick around because we're about to reveal its incredible story, its value, and why some versions of this coin are worth $1.6 million. That's right, millions. Let's get started. The Kennedy half dollar was first introduced in 1964, just a few months after President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination. The U.S. Mint decided to honor the beloved president by placing his profile on the obverse of the coin, and it's been a symbol of American coinage ever since. Now, when we talk about the 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar, we're focusing on the minting that took place at the Philadelphia Mint. During this time, the Kennedy half dollar wasn't as popular as it once was. The coin had been in circulation for nearly 2 decades, but its usage had dropped significantly. By 1983, the coin was mostly used in special commemorative sets or as a collector's item. Unlike earlier years, there wasn't a lot of public demand for the 1983 Kennedy half dollar. However, this doesn't mean the coin was any less significant. In fact, it's this very lack of mass circulation that makes it unique today. But hold on tight, because it's the rarity and certain mistakes that turn this coin into a true treasure. So, what makes the 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar so special? Well, it's not just any regular coin. You see, during the minting process at the Philadelphia Mint, a few minor errors occurred that would go on to make certain coins much more valuable. Some of these coins were struck with unusual die characteristics like double strikes or filled die errors. These types of mistakes create variations in the coin's design, and collectors absolutely love them. The unique characteristics can make the value of these coins skyrocket, with some even reaching $1.6 million. One of the most significant errors that collectors look for in a 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar is what's called the double die obverse. This error results in the date or parts of the inscription on the coin being duplicated, giving it a slightly blurry or doubled appearance. This might seem like a small mistake, but in the world of coin collecting, these errors are highly sought after. And for those who find one in pristine condition, it's not just a cool find. It could be worth thousands, or in some cases, millions of dollars. So, why are some of these 1983 P. Kennedy half dollars worth such insane amounts of money? It's all about rarity and condition. Let's break it down. First, let's talk about rarity. The 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar was struck in relatively low numbers, and while most of these coins were made in large batches, only a few ended up with rare errors. When you consider that fewer than 100 double die errors were discovered, that makes these coins extremely rare. Now, condition plays a huge role too. Most Kennedy half dollars from the 1980s were heavily circulated. The higher the grade or the better the condition, the higher the value. Coins that were well preserved, especially those with zero wear, can fetch an astronomical price at auctions. In fact, a perfect 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar with a double die error could be valued at up to $1.6 million, and that's not an exaggeration. At major auctions, collectors have fought fiercely to own one of these rarities. The coin's high value is not just due to the error, but also the immense demand from serious collectors. So, how can you find one of these rare coins? Well, you might not find one in your everyday pocket change, but you can still check through coin rolls, old coin collections, or online marketplaces. The key is knowing what to look for. To spot the rare 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar with a double die error, look closely at the date and inscriptions. If you see any signs of doubling or a faint blur, that's a good indicator you've got something special on your hands. Make sure to get it authenticated by a professional before making any assumptions about its value. Well, there you have it, folks. The 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar may seem like an ordinary coin, but it's anything but. From its historical significance to its rare errors, this coin holds incredible value, one that could potentially make you a millionaire. If you enjoyed learning about this amazing coin, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and of course, subscribe for more exciting coin discoveries. Have you found any rare coins in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. We're diving into one of the most remarkable and valuable coins that might be sitting right in your coin jar. the 1992 D. Kennedy half dollar. And believe it or not, this coin could be worth over $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. Stick around as we explore the history, rarity, and incredible value of this elusive coin. Let's start with a bit of history. The Kennedy half dollar was first released in 1964, right after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. His image was chosen as a tribute to honor his legacy, making the coin a piece of American history. It was initially produced in 90% silver, but by 1971, it was switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. Now, when it comes to the 1992 D version, this coin was minted in Denver, indicated by the D mint mark. The 1992 coin, like many other Kennedy half dollars produced in the 90s, was part of the series that was mostly produced for collectors and didn't see much circulation in daily use. But what makes the 1992 D so special, and why is it worth millions of dollars? We'll dive into that in just a moment, so don't go anywhere. Now, let's talk about the mystery behind the 1992 D. Kennedy half dollar. You may be wondering, how did this particular coin rise to such incredible value? Well, the truth is, there's a unique and rare variety of this coin that has become legendary in the world of numismatics. In 1992, a small number of Kennedy half dollars were struck with an unusual error, the famous no FG variety. This means that the initials FG, designed by Frank Gasparo, the engraver, that typically appear under Kennedy's image on the reverse were missing. As you can see, most 1992 D. Kennedy half dollars have the FG initials here on the reverse. However, due to a striking error, a small batch of these coins was produced without these initials, and that's what makes them so rare and valuable. Coins with such errors are always highly sought after by collectors, and this particular mistake has created a lot of buzz in the coin collecting world. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much is the 1992 D. Kennedy half dollar worth? In 2019, a no FG 1992 D. Kennedy half dollar was sold for a staggering $1.3 million at a major auction. Yes, you heard that right. $1.3 million for just a single coin. That sale sent shockwaves through the numismatic community, and it's one of the highest prices ever paid for a Kennedy half dollar. Of course, finding a coin like this is incredibly rare. The number of no FG coins is very small, and many of them are in private collections or hidden away in vaults. But if you happen to come across one of these in your collection or during a coin hunt, you could be looking at a life-changing find. Remember, it's essential to have your coin authenticated by a professional grading service if you think you have one of these rare errors. Only then will you know the true value of your coin. So, how can you tell if your 1992 D. Kennedy half dollar is one of the rare no FG coins? Well, it's quite simple. You'll want to carefully inspect the reverse side of the coin below President Kennedy's image. Normally, you'll see the initials FG there, but if they're missing, you've got something very special. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. First, not every 1992 D. Kennedy half dollar will be a no FG coin, so be sure to look closely at your coin. Second, there are a lot of counterfeit versions out there, so make sure you verify its authenticity with the help of a professional grader before you get too excited. Once you've confirmed it's the real deal, you'll want to take steps to preserve your coin and possibly even get it professionally graded to increase its value. The 1992 D. Kennedy half dollar with the no FG error is truly one of the most extraordinary finds for any collector, and its value speaks volumes about the fascination and importance of rare coins in the world of numismatics. While it may be a long shot to find one of these coins, the hunt is part of the thrill, and you never know. You could be sitting on a gold mine. We're diving deep into the history of a very special coin, the 1976 Kennedy half dollar. This coin not only has an interesting backstory, but it also holds the potential for a mind-blowing value of up to $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, stick around because this video is packed with valuable insights. The Kennedy half dollar was first introduced in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination. The U.S. Mint decided to honor the late president with this new coin, replacing the Franklin half dollar. The original design featured a profile of Kennedy on the obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts, with the reverse showcasing the presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparo. By 1976, the United States was celebrating the Bicentennial, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. To commemorate this monumental occasion, the U.S. Mint released special bicentennial versions of the Kennedy half-dollar. The major change to the design was the reverse side, which was modified to show a bold depiction of the Liberty Bell and the moon in honor of America's space achievements. The reverse was designed by Dennis R. Williams, while the obverse stayed the same. Now, here's where things get interesting. The 1976 Kennedy half-dollar was struck in both 40% silver and copper-nickel-clad versions. The silver coins were part of a special commemorative set for the Bicentennial, while the clad coins were minted for circulation. One of the most exciting things for collectors is the variation in mint marks and the condition of these coins. The 1976 Bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Some collectors seek out specific mint marks, and depending on the quality of the coin, its value can differ drastically. Now, let's talk about the value of these coins. The majority of 1976 Kennedy half-dollars are not worth much over their face value. You might find some in pocket change or in your old coin jar. The copper-nickel-clad version, in particular, is usually worth just a few dollars depending on condition. However, don't rush to dismiss the entire series just yet. Some 1976 Kennedy half-dollars, especially the silver versions, can fetch much higher prices in the right conditions. Coins in excellent condition, or those with special characteristics, can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. The key is rarity and condition. For example, a proof coin, which was struck with a special process to create a mirror-like finish, can be much more valuable than a regular issue. But here's where it gets even more exciting. There is one 1976 Kennedy half-dollar that's worth up to $1.5 million. And it's a coin that has captured the attention of collectors around the world. In 1976, some of the Bicentennial half-dollars were struck with a mistake, a coin that was missing the mint mark altogether. While most 1976 Kennedy half-dollars either have no mint mark or feature the D or S mint mark, a very rare error coin was struck with no mint mark and no indication of where it was produced. These are sometimes referred to as no mint mark error coins. Why is this important? Well, error coins are rare and highly sought after by collectors. A 1976 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark, especially in high grade, could be worth anywhere from $100,000 to $1.5 million depending on its condition. So how do you spot one of these rare error coins? First, check for the mint mark. The 1976 Bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar should have a D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mint mark at all for Philadelphia. If you find one without any mint mark, take a closer look. But remember, these error coins are extremely rare, so don't expect to find one in your pocket change. Also, condition is everything. A coin in mint condition with sharp details and no wear or damage will fetch much more than one with heavy scratches, nicks, or discoloration. If you suspect your coin might be a rare find, you may want to get it professionally graded. To sum it all up, while the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar is generally a common coin, certain variations, especially error coins, can be worth a small fortune. Whether it's the Bicentennial silver versions or a rare minting mistake, always keep an eye out when you're handling these coins. We're diving deep into a coin that has intrigued collectors for decades, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. We'll explore its history, its significance, and why certain 1972 Kennedy half-dollar coins have sold for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, you won't want to miss this one. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin-related content. Let's get started. Before we get into the million-dollar stories, let's take a moment to appreciate the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. This coin holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, just a few months after President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination. The U.S. Mint sought to honor the late president by creating a coin featuring his profile. The design was the work of artist Gilroy Roberts, who captured Kennedy's likeness, while Frank Gasparo designed the reverse, featuring the presidential seal. From 1964 to 1970, the Kennedy half-dollar was minted in 90% silver. However, in 1971, due to the rising cost of silver, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. The 1972 version of the coin was part of this new alloy, which makes it a bit different from the earlier silver issues. Despite this change, the design remained the same, with Kennedy's iconic profile on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse. But why does this coin matter so much to collectors today? Well, let's look at some key factors. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, with a D mint mark for Denver minted coins. Interestingly, there are no major design changes or errors from the mint itself that stand out for this year. However, a closer look reveals some unique features. 1972 was a year that saw a lot of half-dollars produced. Over 200 million were made, so finding a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar in your pocket change isn't exactly rare. But certain coins, due to subtle minting variations or unique characteristics, can make them incredibly valuable. So, let's get to the part you're all waiting for. Why would anyone pay $1.3 million for a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar? The truth is, it's all about rare errors and perfect condition. One of the key reasons behind the astronomical price tag of $1.3 million lies in the rarity of certain coins that were struck with errors. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar has been found with some fascinating minting mistakes, including double dies, where the design was struck multiple times, creating a clear error in the lettering or details. There's one particularly famous coin that was graded as a perfect MS-70. This is the highest grade possible for a coin. The reason it's so valuable? Not just the condition, but the rarity. Coins that receive a perfect grade, especially from years with high mintage numbers like 1972, are highly coveted by collectors. Most of the 1972 Kennedy half-dollars in circulation are in average or poor condition, which makes those in mint condition incredibly rare. Additionally, coins with known errors, like the 1972 double die, have become the holy grail for collectors. Now, let's talk about how you can spot a potentially valuable 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. Look for clear signs of wear and tear first. A coin that's been well preserved has a much higher chance of being valuable. Next, check for the possibility of a double die error. This typically appears in the lettering on the obverse, particularly around the Liberty or the date. If the letters appear doubled or blurry, you might just have a rare specimen on your hands. Lastly, get your coin graded by a professional. Coins that have been preserved in mint condition and are graded as MS-65 or higher often fetch higher prices at auction. Don't take chances. Always get expert advice. Speaking of auctions, let's talk about the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar that went for $1.3 million. In 2018, one of these rare, perfect condition coins, graded MS-70, was sold at a major auction. This was a landmark moment in the world of coin collecting. The sale shocked many and helped shine a light on just how valuable certain coins can become over time. It wasn't just the perfect condition that made this coin so valuable. It was also the rarity of a coin in such pristine condition from a year with so many coins produced. The collector who bought it was willing to pay a premium for what is now considered one of the most beautiful and flawless Kennedy half-dollars in existence. On camera. So, what do you think? Could there be a hidden treasure sitting in your collection or even your loose change? The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is a perfect example of how a coin, with a little history and a touch of rarity, can become worth millions. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow collectors, and leave a comment telling us about the most valuable coin you've ever come across. We're diving deep into the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar coin, a coin that has captivated collectors for decades, and believe it or not, could be worth up to $1.1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But we'll explore the history, the rarity, and how a simple half-dollar can reach such a staggering value. Let's get started. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. To honor his legacy, the U.S. Mint decided to replace the Franklin half-dollar with the Kennedy design. Featuring the profile of JFK, this coin became a symbol of the nation's mourning and respect for the fallen president. The 1974 version of the Kennedy half-dollar didn't feature any major design changes compared to earlier years, but it did mark an important period in coin history. By the early 1970s, coins like the Kennedy half-dollar were slowly being phased out of circulation for everyday transactions. Most of us now associate them with special occasions, collections, and, of course, rare finds. Now, you might be wondering, why is the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar so special? To understand this, we need to look at its minting process and a very interesting rarity that exists within this coin's history. In 1974, the U.S. Mint produced Kennedy half-dollars in two versions, the regular coin and a special proof coin. Proof coins are made with a unique method that gives them a mirror-like finish, making them stand out from regular coins. But here's where things get really interesting. In addition to the regular and proof coins, the 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar has a fascinating rarity. The 1974 D, minted in Denver, has become highly sought after due to a phenomenon known as * the missing mint mark. While most coins from that year have the mint mark D to indicate they were made in Denver, a few 1974 D coins were actually struck without the mint mark. This minting error made these coins extremely rare. Imagine receiving a coin that was supposed to have a mint mark but didn't. These errors are what make the 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar such a hot commodity among collectors. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. So, let's get to the million-dollar question. Why is the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar worth $1.1 million? The answer lies in the rarity of the missing mint mark error. Now, most 1974 Kennedy half-dollars you come across will have the mint mark, but only a small handful of these missing mint mark coins exist. It is estimated that only a few dozen error coins were minted, and of those, even fewer are in mint condition. The rarity of these coins, combined with the historical significance of the Kennedy half-dollar, makes them a highly valuable piece of American coinage. Imagine finding one of these rare coins in your pocket change or in a collection passed down from a family member. That's exactly what happened with one lucky collector in 2019, when a missing mint mark 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar sold for a whopping $1.1 million at an auction. Incredible, right? Now that you know why this coin is worth so much, let's talk about how to spot a rare 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. When you're checking for the missing mint mark, the first thing you want to do is look closely at the reverse side of the coin. That's where you'll usually see the mint mark near the bottom right side of the coin, beneath the eagle. Examine the area where the mint mark is usually stamped. If you don't see the mint mark, then you've got something special. So, what should you do if you come across a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar and think it might be one of these rare, missing mint mark coins? First, don't just assume you've struck gold. It's always a good idea to get your coin authenticated by a professional grading service, like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation or the Professional Coin Grading Service. Rarity isn't the only factor in determining a coin's value. The condition of the coin plays a huge role. Coins that are in mint condition will always fetch higher prices. So, be sure to handle your coins carefully and store them in protective cases to preserve their value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the world of numismatics, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is a fascinating coin to keep an eye on. If you've got one of these in your collection, or maybe even inherited one, who knows? You might be holding onto a piece of history worth millions. We're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. history, the 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar. It's a coin that not only holds historical significance, but can also be worth a staggering $1.5 million, if you know what to look for. Welcome back, coin collectors. If you're passionate about rare coins or just starting your collection, today's episode will take you on an exciting journey into the world of the 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar. So, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification, because you don't want to miss out on this incredible coin story. A montage of historical footage showing President John F. Kennedy with a voiceover. Before we jump into the 1989 edition, let's briefly go back to 1964, when the Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced. Following the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963, the U.S. Mint decided to honor his memory by issuing a new half-dollar coin featuring his likeness. Designed by sculptor Gilroy Roberts, the coin features President Kennedy's profile, with the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" around the edges, as well as the year of minting and the mint mark. The 1964 Kennedy half-dollar was first struck in 90% silver, making it highly prized by collectors. However, as time went on, the silver content in the coin was reduced and the composition changed. But no matter what, the Kennedy half-dollar remains a symbol of an era marked by hope, change, and tragic loss. Cut to a shot of the 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar coin. Fast forward to 1989, and we have the P. mint-marked Kennedy half-dollar, struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While the coin might seem like any other Kennedy half-dollar on the surface, there's more to it than meets the eye. 1989 was a unique year for several reasons. It marked the end of the 1980s, a decade full of changes in the U.S. economy, politics, and pop culture. Yet, despite its modern appearance, the Kennedy half-dollar in 1989 wasn't as widely circulated or collected compared to earlier years. This means that many of these coins were simply used for everyday transactions, and large quantities were melted down, diminishing their availability. Because of this, finding an uncirculated or proof version of the 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar is extremely rare, which contributes to its current value. But that's not all. The minting process in 1989 was slightly different, resulting in some errors and varieties that collectors and investors are willing to pay big money for. The camera zooms in on the edge of a 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar, highlighting imperfections or unique features. Now, what makes a 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar worth $1.5 million? The key lies in rare minting errors. You see, during its production, some of the coins had slight misprints or unique characteristics, like double dies or off-center strikes, which make them incredibly valuable to collectors. A shot of an expert examining a coin with a magnifying glass. One of the most famous errors was a double die strike, where the design was inadvertently stamped twice, creating a unique and distorted image. These double die coins have been sold at auctions for mind-blowing amounts. In fact, some collectors have reported finding specimens that are worth up to $1.5 million when they come with the right documentation and grading. The host demonstrates how to closely inspect a coin using a magnifying glass. So, how can you identify a rare and valuable 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar? First, always look for the mint mark P on the reverse side. If you have a coin from another mint, like Denver or San Francisco, it won't have the same value as one from Philadelphia. Next, closely examine the edges and surfaces of the coin. Look for any signs of wear, scratches, or imperfections. But the most crucial thing to check for are minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or even missing details. To get an accurate value, you'll need to have the coin professionally graded by a service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. A high-grade coin with rare errors could fetch you thousands of dollars, or even more if it's one of those incredible finds worth millions. Graph showing rising coin values over time. While the 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar is a rare gem in the world of coin collecting, its value continues to grow over time. As more collectors and investors enter the market, the price of high-quality, error-free coins rises. This makes the Kennedy half-dollar not only a piece of history, but also an investment opportunity. And here's a fun fact. The 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar isn't just valuable for its rarity. It's also a piece of a larger historical trend where coins from the 1980s are gaining significant interest, especially as they're linked to the legacy of President John F. Kennedy. The host holding up a 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar coin with a smile. So, there you have it, the history, value, and incredible worth of the 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar coin. If you're lucky enough to own one, it could very well be worth a small fortune. Make sure to check your collection, and if you find anything that looks even remotely unusual, have it professionally assessed. Who knows? You could have $1 million coin in your hands. We're diving into the fascinating story of the 1971 P. Kennedy half dollar, an iconic coin with a history that's as rich as its value. And yes, you heard it right, one of these coins could be worth up to $1.4 million. Stick around, and I'll tell you exactly why. Whether you're a longtime collector or someone curious about the coins jingling in your drawer, this is one story you don't want to miss. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination. It was created as a tribute to honor his legacy, and it quickly became one of the most cherished coins in American history. In 1971, the U.S. Mint made a significant change. The half dollar transitioned from a 40% silver composition to a copper-nickel-clad design. This was to meet the growing demand for coins and to preserve the dwindling silver reserves. But this shift inadvertently created one of the rarest errors in modern U.S. coinage history. So, what makes the 1971 peso special? It's not just any half dollar. It's a coin with a unique story and, for some, an unimaginable value. Here's where it gets exciting. Among the millions of 1971 P. Kennedy half dollars minted, a very small number, possibly just one or two, were accidentally struck on a 90% silver planchet, left over from pre-1971 production. That's right, these coins were never supposed to exist. This error was discovered years later by sharp-eyed collectors and confirmed by professional graders. The unique silver composition makes this coin not only rare but also incredibly valuable. In 2021, a 1971 P. Kennedy half dollar struck on a silver planchet sold for a staggering $1.4 million at auction. It's a true Cinderella story for coin collectors, turning pocket change into a fortune. Now, how can you tell if you've struck gold or, in this case, silver? Let's break it down. Check the weight. A typical 1971 P. Kennedy half dollar weighs 11.34 grams, but the silver era coin will weigh around 12.5 grams. A digital scale is your best friend here. Examine the edge. A copper-nickel-clad coin will show a distinct copper band on the edge, while the silver planchet will have a solid silver appearance. Listen to the sound. Silver coins produce a distinct ringing sound when gently tapped, unlike the duller sound of copper-nickel coins. Professional grading. If you suspect you've found the silver error, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Imagine the thrill of finding $1 million coin in your own collection. Even if you don't have the silver error, don't worry. Certain high-grade 1971 P. Kennedy half dollars can also fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Coins with a grade of MS67 or higher are rare and highly sought after by collectors. The better the condition, the higher the value. So, dig through those rolls and check your collections. You might have a hidden gem. The 1971 P. Kennedy half dollar is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history, a tribute to a beloved president, and a potential treasure. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this is a coin worth keeping an eye on. And who knows, the next $1.4 million Kennedy half dollar could be sitting right in your pocket or coin jar. So go ahead and take a closer look. And if you find something amazing, let me know in the comments below. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1996 P. Kennedy half dollar coin. From its history to its incredible value, we're going to explore everything you need to know. Stick around because this coin could be worth a lot more than you think. Let's get started. Historical footage of John F. Kennedy, images of the original Kennedy half dollar design. To understand the significance of the 1996 P. Kennedy half dollar, let's take a brief walk down history. The Kennedy half dollar was first introduced in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It was meant to honor his legacy and contribution to the nation. The coin was designed by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparo. The obverse features a striking portrait of President Kennedy, while the reverse shows the presidential seal. However, the 1996 P. Kennedy half dollar marks a unique chapter in its story. By the 1990s, interest in the Kennedy half dollar was dwindling, and the U.S. Mint had produced fewer of these coins. But that doesn't mean they were any less significant. let's talk about why the 1996p, in particular, holds a special place in the coin world. Footage or images of the Philadelphia Mint and coin presses in action. In 1996, the U.S. Mint produced the Kennedy half-dollar at both the Philadelphia and Denver Mints. The P Mint mark on the 1996 coin stands for the Philadelphia Mint. That year, the Philadelphia Mint produced only about 3.1 million of these coins, which was a relatively low mintage compared to previous years. This is where things get interesting. You might think that's just a normal mintage, but when you dig a little deeper, you'll find something truly unique about this coin. Footage of rare coin dealers, auction houses, and the 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar in pristine condition. Now, let's talk about why this coin is worth so much, well, more than most people realize. As I mentioned earlier, only around 3.1 million 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollars were minted, which is a relatively low number compared to earlier decades. Most coins produced during this period were not saved by collectors, so finding one in pristine condition is rare. And that's where rarity and demand come into play. You see, over the years, many of these coins were spent, lost, or damaged. The surviving examples that are still in circulation often show signs of wear and tear. But here's the kicker. There's one specific factor that makes a particular 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar coin worth up to $1.1 million. Close-up shots of the rare 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar, highlighting the details and condition. While most of the 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollars are worth their face value or a little more in excellent condition, one rare example has stunned the coin world. In 2018, a 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar with an extraordinary double die error was discovered. This means that the coin has a unique minting flaw, where the design was struck twice, causing some of the details to be doubled. This type of error is extremely rare, especially for coins produced in the 1990s. A single coin with this error was auctioned for a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. That's right. A coin worth 50 cents originally was sold for over $1 million. Now, these kinds of discoveries are incredibly rare, but they show the power of errors in the world of numismatics. So, if you have a 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar, it's worth checking it out closely. You never know what you might find. You showing a magnifying glass over the coin, pointing out the features that could indicate its value. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have a valuable 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar? It's all about the condition and any potential minting errors. The first thing you should do is check the coin for any signs of doubling, particularly on the lettering or the date. You'll want to use a magnifying glass or even a loupe to inspect it closely. Also, look at the overall condition of the coin. Coins in uncirculated condition, or those with minimal wear, are always more valuable. If you have a coin that looks like it's been well preserved, it might be worth a lot more than you thought. If you're unsure, it's always a good idea to have it appraised by a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service to get an official grade. Remember, the higher the grade, the more your coin could be worth. You sitting with the coin on display, addressing the camera directly. So, there you have it. The 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history and, in some cases, a potential gold mine. Whether you have one in your collection or find one tucked away in your pocket change, keep an eye out. Who knows? You might be holding onto a coin worth a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about other rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar or any coins you've found that surprised you with their value.